Good morning, Grant Adlam from KZN Top Business, Coffee with Grant, and we're with Dr. Thomas Falker and Lorna, all the way from New Zealand. And Thomas, do you want to fill us in Lorna's story and introduce her?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a privilege today that we can interview Lorna and hear the story from the horse's mouth. Lorna's got a very special story and road that she traveled. And maybe, Lorna, if we can start right at the beginning.
All right. Well, on the 29th of April, we were actually driving in a car and someone rear-ended our car. And I started with backache from the accident. But the first day that I went into the hospital, to the emergency department, I could still drive myself and everything. And they said to me, "Oh, no, it's nothing. They'll just give me painkillers." So I went home. And the second day it got worse. So then I ended up going to the doctors, and then they said to me, "Okay, it's not a neck sprain, it's a lumbar sprain." And they said, "No, it's also nothing serious." They sent me home again. The third day, I couldn't I battled to lift my legs, and the pain got really worse. And then I went back to the doctors, and then they said, "Okay, they've got to get this pain under control." And they gave me morphine, which didn't agree with me. It sent me to the other world, basically. And then 2 days after that, it was so bad that I couldn't walk, I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit. I just lay down and I just basically cried in pain. And then a friend of mine actually took me to the hospital. And from there on, they did all the tests. They did MRI tests. I did 2 MRI scans. I did 2 CT scans. They did an echogram. And then they said to me, "No, I've got a bacterial infection in my body called Staphylococcus aureus. And I've got inflammation around my muscles." So they put me onto an antibiotic, and then after 10 days, they sent me home with intravenous antibiotic, which they call a PIC line. And I had that still for another about 10 days at home. And then I was on an oral antibiotics that I had to take every 4 hours, even during the night. And they said I must do physio, and I did all that, and I would get up every 4 hours and walk to try and get better. But I don't know, it just didn't help. And in between that, I landed up going to hospital with the ambulance. Then the fourth time, a friend of mine came back from overseas and she said, "You're not getting better." So I went back to the doctors again. And then they got me into the hospital again. And then they actually found out that the bacterial infection was in my spinal cord. And I had my aorta was inflamed, and 2 of my vertebrae had collapsed, and they reckon it's from the bacterial infection. And all that time I was on antibiotics, and then when I was in hospital, they put another PIC line in. I was on that PIC line now for 7 weeks, and now I've got oral antibiotics for another 6 weeks. But the last time that I came out of hospital, my husband actually phoned Thomas and asked him to please send some of the quantum silver over. And I was a bit reluctant in the beginning, but I must say, after going through what I went through and having such excruciating pain, I decided, I'm going to try this because nothing else is working for me. And I started it, and literally 5 days after I started it, I started feeling really a lot better. I had so much more energy, and I just got stronger every day, So, and now I must be honest, now I'm too nervous to stop it. Now I just think I want to carry on with it for the rest of my life. I want to get friends and everything that I know that are going to South Africa to please just bring me bottles, that I don't stop using it. And I try and tell everybody that I know in South Africa or even here, about it, because it's really done wonders to me. I mean, for me to be able to sit here for this time is quite amazing, because I used to battle to sit.
Yeah, Lorna, I think maybe if you can just explain a bit in detail for people who are going to watch this, what was your physical capability? You've explained about the PICC line the first time for many weeks on antibiotics that the hospital gave you, and then the second PICC line of antibiotics. Were you able, did you see progress then before you started with the Quantum Silver, that you could actually move and do things, or were you still in bed most of the time? How was that before you started with the Quantum Silver?
Well, I mean, the first time when I came out of hospital, I did get out of bed, but it was a struggle, and I was in pain. Yeah. I was in a lot of pain. I mean, it was a mission for me to walk. Everything was a mission, I couldn't just get up and walk. I couldn't just sit down on the bed. Everything was a mission. And then I was like out of hospital for maybe 5 days, and I tried once to get out of bed, and I actually landed up falling. Yeah. And then, so that it ended up, I just got worse again. So I found almost with the antibiotics, I wasn't getting better. I was really battling to walk, to sit down and do all those things. And then when I started the Quantum Silver, my mobility definitely got better. Okay, I did have like walkers and to raise the toilet and things like that, but at least I could get down on them. I mean, before it was just the excruciating pain. I really battled to get down onto a toilet or get down onto a bed, or so there definitely was a big difference with the Quantum Silver.
Yeah, fantastic. I think just for our listeners also to understand, we sent you 2 types of products in capsule. The first one that you took was the Quantum Silver Gut Health. Now, that idea behind that was to restore your gut health again, because you had been on strong antibiotics for such a long time, actually for many, many weeks, which also weakens your digestive system, your immune system. So with the gut health, it restores that, but it also has the Quantum Silver to actually kill off the Staphylococcus aureus or whatever other infection you had in your body, so that you can start healing and getting better. And then after that, you switched over to the Quantum Silver capsules, just to ensure that that Staph aureus infection is no longer there, and that you totally get healed and clean of it in your body.
Yeah. Well, I must say one thing. When I entered into the hospital the first time, my they call it the CRP with your bloods, was 200. And after I used the Quantum Silver, it's gone right down to 6.
Very good. Yeah. And the ideal is, for a healthy person, where should it be ideally?
Well, they say under 5. I was actually down to 2. About 3 weeks ago, but somehow I went up a little bit again. But the doctors seem to be happy with it, and I am going for blood tests again in 2 weeks, so we'll see if it's still down there. But I think it should be, because I mean, I've started physio again, and I can actually do the exercises now, and I've even started walking without my brace. Which I couldn't do that at all before. I mean, before I had to have the walker. I had to, and like the toilets, I had to have that raised toilet seat. It's like a commode, but then, it's just higher. And then I actually took that away from the toilet on Sunday. So I can already sit down on a normal toilet, and I walk about 3 kilometers in a day now. I mean, there was no way I could have done that before. No ways. Yeah. So I definitely think the Quantum Silver has helped me a lot there.
Yeah, that is great. I think just a perspective for people who haven't heard about Staphylococcus aureus, it is a bacterial infection that is very well known worldwide to be resistant against many antibiotics. And that's why if a patient is diagnosed with it, like Lorna, They use a very strong antibiotic to try and eliminate that so that you can get better again. But it is still a battle. And I think if the quantum solver has made such a difference, it's another proof how effective the quantum solver is against the Staphylococcus infection, and how much easier other bacteria will be eliminated with quantum solver if it makes such a difference even to quantum solver. But we're just very glad, Lorna, that your life, it's like a new lease on life, that you can start actually being active again, because you are a very active person. And it must have been very frustrating for you to be bound to the bed and not being able to move and do what you usually do.
Yes, it was. And it's also soul destroying. It works a lot on your emotions as well, So I used to cry a lot. I mean, I used to cry from pain. I used to cry because I literally could not do anything. I just lay in bed. I lay basically in bed for 2.5 months. I could do nothing.
Wow. Yeah.
So it really is nice to now be able to move my body and I mean, if I just explain the pain that I had, it literally felt like someone was tearing my body apart slowly and twisting me in different directions. And at the same time, I would have spasms. But that's another thing I must say. Since I've been using the quantum silver, I haven't had another spasm again.
Wow.
So that's actually really amazing.
Yeah. So your outlook towards the future is to, obviously it'll take time for your muscles to build up strength again, etc. That's why you do the exercises. But your outlook seems to be very positive, that you can lead a normal life again soon.
Yes. Well, I will be going back to work at the end of the month, probably. And they said, well, they started off slowly, but that's fine. But at least I'll be able to go. And I've already started driving, which I couldn't do before either. I wasn't allowed to drive. So, and the other day I actually drove all the way into town, which is about 26 kilometers away. So that's quite a positive sign too. I mean, it's amazing how they always say, appreciate the little things. I say to Peter, you only realize it when you go through something like this, just to be able to sit down on a normal chair, or sit down on a toilet or get up from the bed, So
we often take it for granted till you can't do it anymore, and then you appreciate it again.
Yeah. Even putting socks on. I couldn't even put my socks on.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm going to butt in for a sec here. This is it's absolutely it's almost a horror story with a good ending.
Yeah.
You sort of wonder. I've used quantum silver obviously, but it seems so meek and mild. I use it to get over flu and a constant like pneumonia that I couldn't for years. Almost, Thomas, a year. Last year in November, and I still don't have flu. But so that makes my problem seem mild compared to what it's done for you. So it's an absolutely incredible story.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I must say, I believe so strongly in it now. It's I think I need to come back to South Africa and be your sales rep for it. I tell everybody, even here in New Zealand.
Yeah, I think what is just nice about your story, Lorna, is that it can encourage many other people who go through similar things or feel hopeless because they've tried everything that has been prescribed or given to them by the hospital or the doctors, and it still doesn't work. What now? And I think this is just a fantastic testimony to motivate other people that there is hope and there is life.
Yeah, for sure. And like I say, I'm so chuffed that I have actually ordered it. I really, in the beginning, I was not sure, like I said, but it's really done amazing work in my life. So I'm very grateful for it.
So you've been through hell, hey?
Yes, no, I've been through a lot of hell. It hasn't been fun. It's really not a way you want to go,
No.
So, and I do find, like, in the beginning, how can I say, it's like almost they don't want to believe you that there's something wrong with you,
Mm.
So it was a bit of a fight.
And
Yeah.
what a horrible name to have to tell everybody. It's like, how do you even learn that name?
Yeah.
Well, some people say just use the word sepsis, then they'll understand.
How common is it?
Yeah, it is quite common, even in animal kingdom. Obviously, bacteria are different for humans and for animals, but they also have a Staphylococcus aureus. In animals, it's so bad and can't be treated with conventional antibiotics that if an animal is diagnosed with Staph aureus, it's actually slaughtered or euthanized. That is how serious this is. Yeah. Now, luckily, in humans,
animal.
yeah,
that's
it's really serious. Yeah.
So is it
and
contagious?
It's been around for 60, 70 years, and there's no solution until we've now got quantum silver that we can actually treat it instead of, just sort of giving up.
Everybody has that, Grant. Apparently, it's on your skin.
Yeah.
But with me, they just don't know how it entered my body. But I actually had a bit of a, because when I had the accident, I put a belt, these deep heat belts on your back to ease the pain. And when I took that off, I was really raw. I mean, I've still got scarring and that from that. So I think it must have entered there, Okay. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, because otherwise I don't know, because I never had any other cuts or but they say you can even get it actually if you go to the dentist.
Oh.
So but I was just it entered my body. So
for the folks at home who are watching this, the website is on the screen at the moment, www.q-health.co.za. And it's an incredible site. Go on there. All the products are there. Similar videos to that you're watching now, and other incredibly successful applications of quantum silver are on there. And also the helpline. You can get hold of Thomas through the chat lines. So everything is there. So most problems are unique. And we all have what we think cannot be solved, but in actual fact can be solved. So just ask.
Okay, but I will. When you come over to New Zealand, I hope you bring me a suitcase full.
Yeah. I've got it. Or next time I'm out there to do an Ironman in Lake Taupo, I'll do that.
Okay, good.
Hey, Thomas, you heard that?
Yeah, right? I've been in Lake Taupo and the town Taupo twice. It's very nice. Yeah.
Well, maybe you can accompany. We can go and do the Ironman there together.
I'll visit Lorna while you do the Ironman.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, this is a wrap, and thanks for joining me on Coffee with Grant and KZN Top Business. Until the next time, Thomas, Lorna.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. Thank you for your product. I just say quantum silver saved my life. Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Lorna. We really appreciate that. And as I say, it'll be a huge inspiration to many.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you for sharing. Bye-bye.